everyone, I'm Sarah and this is Budgetsew, where we create stylish, fashionable looks as inexpensively as possible. Today, I'm going to show you my fabric haul that I ordered online from Fabcycle in Vancouver, British Columbia, but first, I'm going to show you one of my makes. Today, I'm wearing Vogue 9204, View C, in a size 16. I purchased Vogue 9204 from Fabricland from the discard bin for $5.99. It's a loose-fitting pullover top with the collar extending into tie ends, a back yoke with pleats, a narrow hem, and sleeve variations. View A has a stitched hem on the sleeves. View A and B have a shaped hemline, and View C is longer with side slits. I liked View C's longer length. I can tuck this top into my skirt or wear it over a pair of jeans, just like I did in my handbag handle repair video. The link to that video is at the top of the screen. The fabric is a blue polyester print, so it's a great wash and wear fabric. I bought it in the clearance section at Fabricland for $7 a meter, and I bought the last of the bolt, which was 1.1 meters. Now that wasn't quite enough fabric to make this top, so I improvised and I used some blue remnant fabric for the back yoke of the top as well as the bottom portion of the sleeves. I bought the blue polyester fabric on sale for $4 a meter and used 3.2 meters of it for a dress. Vogue 8992. The link to the video with that dress is at the top of the screen. I added 2 vintage buttons to each cuff to make them appear to be button-up. These buttons were originally my Nana's and I was lucky enough to inherit them. If you love buttons as much as I do, then check out my buttons, buttons, and more buttons video. The link to that video is at the top of the screen. To complete the look, I'm wearing a pleated knit navy blue wool acrylic mix skirt that I purchased from Value Village thrift store. The red KGB Studio purse came from Value Village as well. I bought the 9 West shoes years ago for a New Year's Eve party, and my earrings were in a Ziploc bag full of jewelry that I bought for $5 at a church Christmas bazaar. Now, on to the fabric haul. I couldn't sleep one night, so I thought I'd look at all the gorgeous fabric online and then dream of the garments that I could make out of it. I googled fabric stores in Canada, fabrics on sale, clearance fabrics, and then I saw it, Fabcycle. Then I thought, I follow them on Instagram, so I decided to check out their website. Fabcycle is a fabric store with a twist. It's a collection service of textile waste. Now, you may be wondering, what is textile waste? When fashion designers, brands, or apparel manufacturers cannot sell or use the fabric rolls that they have, the fabric is considered to be textile waste. Fabcycle's website says, "We work directly with local apparel manufacturers like factories, fashion designers, and schools to collect the scraps, offcuts, dead stock, and ends of rolls that are left during the apparel production process and reuse or recycle what they cannot use. Their mission is to divert textile waste from the landfill. These fabrics that I'm about to show you were considered textile waste, but were saved from the landfill by Fabcycle and then purchased by me to have a wonderful second chance at garment life." The first fabric I saw was this. It was listed as Natural Beauty Nylon Woven Multi-Stripes 3.65 meter bundle. The fabric fiber types are estimated on the website, and this fabric was listed as nylon. What's nice about the Fabcycle website is that it tells you everything you need to know about the fabric. For example, this woven fabric is opaque with a relaxed drape and a smooth, slippery feel. It's lightweight and sold as a bundle, 110 centimeters wide by 3.65 meters long. The fabric is commonly used for finishing and lining. When I added this fabric to my shopping cart, I saw that the fabric was 25% off. It was a June promotion. That sale has since ended, but if you subscribe to Fabcycle, you receive a discount code for 15% off your purchase. I subscribed and got my discount code, but the 15% off could not be used for this sale. That was fine because I got 25% off, which meant that this Natural Beauty fabric that was $30.80 for 3.65 meters was now $23.10 for the piece, and that broke down to $6.33 a meter. I realize that this fabric is recommended for lining and finishing, but I plan to use this for nightwear. I'm going to make the baby doll top and panties from Simplicity 9877. I bought this pattern from Value Village for 25 cents. This is one of my favorite vintage patterns. Simplicity 9877 was published in 1980 and is a pullover nightgown in 2 lengths and baby dolls. View 1 top and View 2 nightgown have gathers to the scooped yoke with optional lace trim and cut-in armholes. View 1's panties have elastic casings at the waistline and leg edges forming ruffles. View 3, the short nightgown, is gathered to a self-bias binding that ties at the shoulders. The suggested fabrics are cotton types, broadcloth, batiste, cotton challis, and silk types, but I plan to use this, and I'll open it up for you. I plan to use the Natural Beauty fabric with this fabric that's called Blue Lagoon. It's a woven polyester, is opaque, with a relaxed drape and a smooth, slippery feel. It's lightweight and sold as a bundle, 105 centimeters wide by 1.9 meters long. This bundle was $18 originally, but with a 25% off discount, it was $13.50 for the bundle, or $7.11 a meter. And I'll open it up for you too. I plan to use this fabric for another nightie, Simplicity 7141. It was published in 1967 and is a simple to sew jiffy nightgown. I bought this pattern for less than $2 at Good Value thrift store in downtown London, Ontario. This knee-length nightgown has a low round neckline and ribbon shoulder straps. View 1 is lined with a daisy medallion trim. View 2 has strap ties at the shoulders. View 1 should be made from sheer fabrics such as dotted Swiss, voile, eyelet, and cotton shears. The lining should be made from soft cottons or synthetic blends. View 2's recommended fabrics are soft cottons, crepon, and synthetic jersey. I plan to make View 2's nightie, but I might not have enough fabric of the Blue Lagoon, so I'll use some of the Natural Beauty fabric for the shoulder straps and additional length. If there's any additional fabric left over, I'll use it for hat and bag linings. The next fabric I saw was the Motion of the Ocean. It's a polyester nylon knit with a blue glittered wave pattern on a white background. It's a medium weight fabric and was sold as a bundle 156 centimeters wide by 0.9 meters long. It has a moderate drape, a rough, shiny, textured feel, and has two-way stretch. This fabric is commonly used for lingerie and robes. This piece of fabric was $7.90, but since it was on sale, I paid $5.93. Since there was only 0.9 of a meter, I'm going to use this fabric in combination with another one I purchased. The next fabric is called Grumpy Bear, and I bought two pieces that were half a meter each. Since I ordered 2 units of half a meter, it was sent in a continuous cut, so a 1 meter piece. It was sold as $5 per half meter, so with my 25% off discount, I paid $3.75 per half meter. It's 100% knit polyester and is a gorgeous blue. It's lightweight and 156 centimeters wide. It has a moderate drape and a soft and cool feel, and has a slight two-way stretch. This fabric is commonly used for sportswear, casual wear, shorts, pants, and jerseys. I thought that I would use this fabric and the previous one, Motion of the Ocean, to make the Tilly and the Buttons Frankie baseball t-shirt. This top has a relaxed fit with easy to sew raglan sleeves, a round neckline, a gentle curved and dipped hem, and a choice of full length, 3/4, or cap sleeves. This pattern is in the book Stretch, Make Yourself Comfortable Sewing with Knit Fabrics, and it's also a free online sewing pattern. I'll post a link to the free Frankie baseball t-shirt sewing pattern in the description box of this video. Before I continue with the Fabcycle fabric haul, please like and share this video with your friends and family. I'd love to help others sew and refashion on a budget and troubleshoot their favorite patterns. I also love sharing the treasures that I find at thrift shops. If you'd like to see more from Budgetsew, please subscribe and make sure that the bell is on so you receive a notification when I release a new video. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Budgetsew. Now back to the fabric. The next fabric I chose was Forest Dancer. The website listed this fabric as a woven, opaque fabric with a relaxed drape and a smooth, slippery feel. It's lightweight and was sold as a bundle 113 centimeters wide by 2.44 meters long. This fabric is a lovely green with just a hint of blue, and the salvage described the fabric as Marlena 100% polyester suede herringbone print, 44/45 inches. The original price of this fabric was $22, but I paid $16.50 for the bundle, or $6.76 a meter. I plan to use this fabric for a blouse. MCCALLS 5459. I bought this pattern at Good Value Thrift Store in downtown London, Ontario. This pattern was published in 1977. I love 70s patterns. It's a blouse pattern with a choice of collars and have long sleeves gathered into buttoned cuffs. View A and B have scarves. View C has a standing collar and ties. View D has a tie collar, and View E has a front band. The purchase belt and alphabet embroidery are optional. The recommended fabrics are lightweight cotton, cotton blends, challis, surah, crepeback satin, polyester satin, and poplin. Blouse C and E can also be made from wool or synthetic jersey and wool or synthetic crepe. Blouse C is suitable for even plaids. I plan to make blouse C and pair it with a pair of navy blue pants or a skirt. I think that would look really sharp. The next fabric was called Flowy Shapes, and it's a woven polyester with a relaxed drape and a smooth, slippery feel. It's 114 centimeters wide, lightweight, and was sold as a 2.35 meter bundle. The original price was $21.20, but with a 25% off discount, I paid $15.90 for the bundle, or $6.77 a meter. When choosing a pattern for this fabric, I need to be careful of the red stripes because I don't want them to be the focus of the garment. I plan to use this fabric for a skirt. Quick Sew 3381, published in 2005. I bought this pattern from the Value Village in the south end of London, Ontario. This pattern is for fitted tops and flared skirts. The tops have darts and a zipper in the left side seam. View A's top has short sleeves, a round neckline, and a center back slit with a button and loop closure. View B's top has 3/4 length sleeves, a scoop neckline, a shaped hemline, and the bodice is lined. The A-line skirts have a narrow waistband and a center back zipper. I'm going to make View B's longer skirt. I plan to use this lightweight polyester to make the long flowy skirt for the multi-geometric pattern, even though the suggested fabrics are cotton types, jacquard, taffeta, satin, crepe, silk types, linen, rayon, and blends. The next fabric I bought was Black Ice. This fabric looks and feels wonderful. It's a jersey polyester knit, 144 centimeters wide, in a 3.85 meter bundle. This fabric was originally $30.80, but with my 25% off discount, I paid $23.10 for the bundle, which broke down to $6 a meter. I plan to use this fabric for Berta 2981. You may remember this pattern from my pattern haul from the Lucan Optimus thrift shop video. The link to that video is right here at the top of the screen. This is a fitted coordinates pattern that includes a top, dress, and pants. The blouse has front and back darts, long sleeves, and a buttoned front. The pants have an elastic waist with a flat front. The dress has short sleeves, pockets at the bust, and is above knee length. This is one of the new Berta patterns where the seam and hem allowances are included. The recommended fabrics are jersey and fine sweater knits. I plan to make the long sleeve top and the pants. The Black Ice fabric is perfect for this pattern. I think I might use some gold buttons for the front of the top. In addition, I'm going to try something new and make the fitted knit hat, View G, of Vogue 7784. This pattern was published in 2003 and I bought it on sale at Fabricland. This pattern envelope includes patterns and instructions to make 7 lined hats. Each hat is offered in 3 sizes: small, medium, and large. Hat A has a self fringe. Hat B has a quilted top. Hat C and D have contrast sections and top stitched brims. Hats E and F have larger top stitch brims, and hat G is self-lined. I think that hat G will complement Berta 2981 very nicely. The next item I ordered was 1 meter of 1/4 inch cream colored swim elastic. This piece was missing from my order, so I replied to my emailed order delivery notice from Fabcycle and they responded immediately. The 1 meter of swim elastic was sent by letter mail later that day. The swim elastic is going to be used for a swimsuit. The fabric that I chose for my swimsuit was this green printed swimsuit fabric that I bought at Fabricland at a store closing sale in Stratford, Ontario. It was $6 a meter and there were 3.2 meters left on the bolt. I used a 7-inch strip of this fabric previously to lengthen a knit wrap dress, but I have plenty of it left over for a swimsuit. The link to the video with the lengthened dress is right here at the top of the screen. I'm going to make a long sleeve bathing suit like MCCALLS 7417. I like this swimwear pattern, but I would like to have swim pants. I'm not sure if I'm using the right term, but I'm looking for a pattern with something like leggings to swim in. I could use a leggings pattern and the swimwear fabric, but if you've seen any great swimwear patterns with long sleeves and long pants, please let me know in the comment section below. Another great thing about Fabcycle is that they collect fabric scraps from Vancouver apparel manufacturers and have production offcuts, swatches, and other wonderful textures and colors of fabrics. The scraps are free, but you have to pay shipping or pick up the scraps from their Vancouver-based reuse center. The scraps come in various sizes. Some are as small as 2 centimeters and some are much larger and could come in uneven cuts. They don't guarantee which scrap sizes you'll receive, but for every scrap box they make, they add a good mix of sizes and textures so you have a lovely selection of materials. These scraps are great for makers that can work with small sizes of scraps or use as materials for stuffing. I don't mind piecing together patterns and fabrics, so these were great for me. Since I ordered $100 worth of fabric, I requested 1 medium box of scraps. The scrap boxes are offered in 3 sizes: small, which is up to 1 kilogram, medium, which is 1 to 3 kilograms, and large, 3 to 5 kilograms. These are some of the scraps I received. Now, they don't come shipped like this. My scraps filled the bottom of the box that my order was shipped in. There was no special packaging, and they were wrinkled just like normal scraps, and they were not sorted. I received 2 pieces of red satin. They're slightly different weights and slightly different sheens, but I'm really quite pleased to have received them. One of these pieces will be used for a Christmas apron. I'm going to use MCCALLS 2811. It's a retro collection pattern from the 1950s, but it was published in 2000. Apron A has a back wrap, and aprons B through E have back tie closures. Aprons B, D, and E have contrast variations. I'm going to make view E and use some of this emerald green fabric that I bought at Len's Mill store in London, Ontario as the contrast. This fabric was $1.81 for 2.2 meters. This is my Christmas scrap bag because I put the red satin in here as well as this green fabric and also this small piece of faux fur. The colors and textures of the fabrics are perfect for Christmas. This scrap bag is one of my designer scrap bags. In this bag I have my Louis Vuitton purse linings in both brown and navy blue. It even comes with the little pieces that reinforce the zippers and a small square of bag fabric. I'll piece together these brown lining pieces to make a scarf to accessorize my wardrobe. I have some Gucci fabric in this bag. I'm going to pattern match this fabric to make it a larger piece and then use this fabric to make a bag. I think I'll choose one from the book Half-Yard Bags and Purses that I bought off Amazon.ca. I'll post the link to the book in the description box of this video. I think that if I could piece together some of the Gucci fabric and use another fabric for contrast, I could make the girl on the go bag and maybe the matching purse. It would be just like a Gucci backpack. The description of this bag says, "A busy girl needs to keep her hands free when she's shopping, eating, or dancing. So keep your necessary items in this stylish backpack and off you go." The matching wallet is described as a useful zippered pouch that slips over the wrist and keeps your hands free and your valuables secure. Large enough to hold loose change and a mobile phone, this purse would be the perfect makeup bag too. What's interesting is that I have other complete purse lining sets, but they're in solid colored fabrics. I can trace these linings and make purses out of another fabric. I also put this Adidas logo in this bag. This logo looks like it's been cut off a pair of pants. In this scrap bag, I have my lovely lace with flowers. It's so pretty. There wasn't enough of it to make a top, but I thought I would cut out the individual flowers or groups of flowers and applique them to a darker colored garment, maybe along the hem of a skirt or a dress. In this bag are my wools. The first wool I received was this Lancetti superfine wool exclusively for British woolens. This fabric feels fantastic. Superfine wool fibers are softer and smoother to the touch than coarser wool, but that's not all. At equal yarn count, there are more superfine wool fibers in the cross section compared to normal wool. This makes the yarn stronger, softer, and more even. I plan to sew these wool fabric strips together to make a piece of fabric big enough to make the drawstring beret from Eugenia Kim's book, Saturday Night Hats. This book recommended using lightweight fabrics because thicker fabrics will get too bulky in the drawstring area. Then it said, on a budget, steal Dad's old golf pants. This superfine wool feels like it's the perfect weight for trousers and this hat. Saturday Night Hats is quick and easy hat making for the downtown girl. In this book, Eugenia Kim teaches you how to make 30 of her designs with patterns and instructions so easy you can start the project Saturday afternoon and wear it out Saturday night. I love every single hat that's in this book. I bought this book off Amazon.ca for $18.29. It was a secondhand copy, but it's in fantastic condition. I'll post a link to this book on Amazon.ca in the description box of this video. The other wool in this bag is this sample book of Loro Piana Tasmanian Super 150s wool. I did some research into Loro Piana wool, and they make the finest wool in the world. Loro Piana is also the sole purchaser of Picoro Nera, a rare black merino wool. These sheep were initially bred to produce white wool, which could then be easily dyed. But before the animals were domesticated, they produced a dark wool that ranged in color from brown to black. By using Picoro Nera, Loro Piana produces garments that possess a unique, dynamic range of dark tones that require no additional dyes. The Super 150 wool is usually used for suits, but since I have only small pieces, I'm going to use these samples to make a hat. I'm going to make the classic cloche from Saturday Night Hats. This pattern is a 6-panel tailored cloche like the one Coco Chanel used to wear. In her book, Eugenia Kim suggested crafting a patchwork hat look by varying the fabrics for each panel. She said, either pick 6 different fabrics or alternate solids and prints. I'm going to use 6 pieces of the wool that are grouped together in the sample book. The next bag has different colors of tulle and mesh. I don't have a specific project in mind, but it could be used for hats or Christmas projects. There's also some pretty green tulle and some lovely gold mesh. Then I have some cotton twill tape. This is quite handy. It can be used to reinforce seams, make casings, bind edges, and make sturdy ties for closing garments. In the next few bags are my white fabrics, and I sorted them into 4 bags. The first one is synthetic wovens. The next one is natural wovens, and then there's synthetic knits, and then the final bag is white wedding dress hems. It's just a guess that these are wedding dress hems. These pieces are very long and the hem edge is curved. It could be a tablecloth for all I know, but I'm leaning towards wedding dresses that were shortened. There are a few little scraps that I can't use for sewing, so I put them in a small Ziploc bag to be used for stuffing. I have some Christmas sewing projects in mind that need stuffing. Under the description of the scraps, there was a little note that said, "For larger pieces, please see our treasure cart fabrics." I was interested, so I clicked the link. This page said, "Receive a surprise box of pre-cut fabrics from the treasure cart." If you've visited our reuse center in Vancouver, you've surely seen the big wooden cart filled with fabrics and other strange and wonderful things. When we collect the fabric scraps and offcuts from our business partners, such as fashion designers and factories, we manually sort and choose which pieces we think can be reused. It's a slow and laborious work, but it allows us to dream how these beautiful fabrics can be used by someone else instead of becoming waste. We accumulated quite a lot of these fabrics, and it's time for them to find a new home. The treasure cart fabrics are $3 per pound and contain a wonderful selection of woven, knit, wool, bamboo, cotton, and more. The smallest size was 1 foot by 1 foot, and some of the fabrics have odd shapes. Fabcycle does not guarantee which fabrics you receive, but their website says that if you have any general requests, send them an email. I was hooked. $3 for a pound of fabric? Count me in. These are the treasure cart fabrics I received. They're all less than half a meter, but their total weight was 3 pounds. These pieces are all soft, lightweight knit, and I'm leaning towards making panties and undershirts because they're small pieces in a variety of colors. Royal blue, mulberry, gold, white, and gray. The white piece had a couple smudges of dirt on it, but I just popped it in the washing machine and it's as good as new. Since these are small pieces of lightweight knits, I'm going to make some underwear. The panties that I chose are from my Quick Sews Beautiful Lingerie book by Kirsten Martinson. This book was published in 1990 and it includes timeless patterns for panties, camisoles, teddies, nightgowns, slips, robes, and so much more. I've already drawn the patterns, so I'm ready to go. Right at the top of the Fabcycle website is the note, "Free shipping on orders over $100. Fabcycle offers free shipping for orders before taxes and discounts over $100 in Canada and over $150 Canadian to the United States. Since this order would be shipped from Vancouver, BC to London, Ontario, I was concerned about the shipping costs, but the website has a shipping calculator, so I knew how much it would be before I clicked the checkout button. To get a quote for shipping, all you do is add the products you'd like to ship to your shopping cart and enter your address. The cart will calculate the shipping rate based on the volume of the products you've chosen and the distance to where the package is going. I wanted to give Fabcycle's fabric a fair chance, so I chose to order $100 worth of fabric, so my shipping was free. Since Fabcycle's mission is to divert textile waste from landfills, it's only fitting that they reuse existing packaging from their neighboring businesses or any other sustainable packaging like compostable or biodegradable mailers. They ship their orders in various packaging that has various branding on it or a mailer that is compostable or biodegradable. My fabric came in a box that held bottles of wine and measured 9 1/4 by 12 1/4 by 12 1/4 inches. My Fabcycle order was shipped a couple of days after I placed it, and I received it a week later. My order was shipped with UPS from Vancouver, BC to London, Ontario, so I was pleased with how quickly it was delivered. The next time I place an order, I'm going to order something like Blueberry Breeze, a woven polyester for $8 for a 1 meter bundle, or Beans and Broccoli, a woven polyester spandex in a green and cream plaid. It's $13.10 for a 1.68 meter bundle. I lean towards blues and greens and prints with those colors. I'm planning on doing a video to show how I create a wardrobe out of my fabric and sewing pattern selections, so stay tuned to Budgetsew. I'm also going to add a mystery pack to my shopping cart. A mystery pack contains 4 meters of fabric, a handful of buttons, 2 meters of elastic, 2 pieces of pre-cut ribbing, and 2 zippers. There's a note about the mystery packs that says they're substituting 2 extra zippers because they're low on buttons. The 4 meters of fabric are a few fabric bundles of a minimum of 1 meter each fabric to a total of 4 meters. The fabrics are not necessarily color coordinated, and you may receive a combination of various fabrics such as apparel, upholstery, or outdoor fabric. The mystery packs are available online only for $25. I like the whole mystery of this. What will I make? I'll only know once I receive the box. Fabcycle also sells light and medium weight curtains. These are sold in 2-panel sets, and each panel is 1 to 1.5 meters wide and 2 to 3 meters long. The lightweight curtains include sheers and other light drapey airy materials, and the medium weights include semi-structured materials that could be used for curtains, outerwear, jackets, and bags. I love making clothing out of curtains and sheets. I consider them to be fabric just like it came off the bolt. Previously on Budgetsew, I made Simplicity 8999 and New Look 6203 out of a queen-sized blue sheet. I'll post the link to those sew-along videos in the description box of this video. I'm presently working on 2 dresses. One, an out-of-print pattern, Butterick 6168, and the other one, a vintage pattern, MCCALLS 2138, and I'm making them out of a black and white pattern sheet. Another great item on the Fabcycle website are the leather jackets. Some were used on film sets and were donated by the Vancouver film industry. Some jackets have imperfections such as red dye or fake blood, or holes, but these imperfections are shown in the photos. If I ordered a leather jacket, I would choose one of the faux fur lined ones, and I would use the leather to make a purse and other great items for my MCCALLS Needlework and Crafts annuals from the 1950s. Lesson 5 in Volume 2 is all about leather craft. The leather articles on these pages were especially designed for the beginner and combine simple construction with pleasing line and styling. I'll start with the free-form lapel pins to get the feeling of handling leather. Next, I'll make the coin purse, and then I'll be all set for the big project, the handsome leather handbag. I'd use the faux fur to make a hat using MCCALLS 7805. Hat C would look fantastic out of faux fur. MCCALLS 7805 is a fashion accessory pattern that was published in 1995. I bought this pattern at Value Village thrift stores. Included in the pattern envelope are instructions and pattern pieces for 4 hats, a reversible hooded scarf, a headband, a neck cowl, a scarf, and mittens. These hats fit head sizes small, medium, and large. One final item that I would like to try are the sweater knits by weight. They are sold for $4 per pound. These sweater ribs have not been assembled and are made in Vancouver by a knitting mill that has been working with the same circular knitting machinery for over 100 years. The sweater ribs are a mix of pre-assembled parts of sweaters and include a combination of various parts such as collars, cuffs, sleeves, and front and back panels. They are grouped together in similar colors but may be different gradients of the same color. The sweater knits are a mix of acrylic or other synthetic yarn and some wool blends with varying textures. Fabcycle doesn't guarantee what parts of the sweater you receive, but you can choose the color. Since I don't have to assemble the sweater or sew a sweater, I can use the parts to make other things. For example, I'll make slouchy hats from the body of the sweaters and headbands from the collars. The cuffs could be used as storm cuffs for my jackets and blazers to keep me extra warm. I should mention that before I placed my order, I looked at the Google reviews for Fabcycle and they were great. There were 15 reviews in total, each had 5 stars and 7 comments, all outstanding. You can count this video as another great review. I hope you enjoyed my fabric haul from Fabcycle. Please like and share this video with your friends and family. I love sharing my new, vintage, and out-of-print sewing patterns and my tips, tricks, quick fixes, and even my mistakes when sewing along with you. I also love sharing my wonderful fabric finds that I thrifted from charity shops, as well as new fabric online and in store. If you'd like to see more from Budgetsew, please subscribe and press the bell so you receive a notification when I release a new video. If you'd like to stay up to date with Budgetsew, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Budgetsew. Thanks for watching. See you next time.